power.
The Lord is thy shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I can't fear no evil, for thy rod and thy staff, them comforted I and I. Who prepare a table before I in the presence of our enemy. Them who anointed I head with an oil. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God Jah. Kadama we groma beya tela exag beer tana istalin abba shante kadama we groma beya tela where two and three meeting in the name of the Most High Jah. And that's so Jaja de. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain same way. If Jaja never watch upon them same house we build for you, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Joe shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks and I says unto your name, King of kings and Lord of lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, Amasa Yehuda Amasa, Negusto Negasti Dadialam, Komaya Sataya, Aimana Pio Waya, Kerema we Groma Be Atila. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And every time this black pot is sitting on the fire, there is something sumptuous cooking. There is nutritious food, sumptuous food. Food that will give you new life. My brother, my sister. Food that will prolong your life. Now, the black pot symbolizes the continent of Africa. Now, the ingredients in there that decide to come together and be subjected to some level of heat to produce food will certainly represent us as the people of Africa. Now, the sacrifice needed, as in the case of the ingredients, which is coming together and putting away all differences and be subjected to some heating, is for us to come together, sacrifice our differences, agree to disagree, and put our hands to the wheel so that we'll be able to produce one homogeneous product, which is not food in this case, but development for our people, our continent, our land. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, in this segment, we normally would not criticize, but if we must criticize, we would only just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. It's all about our people, our continent, our land. This is the Black Pot, and we are live on Pan-African TV, Africa's only Pan-African TV. We are masters of Pan-Africanism on TV. And of course, we are also live on Ghana Web and live on Black Empire TV. Pick up our numbers on the screen. Do business with us. We are ready to promote your business and make your business flourish. Tell us what your budget is. We will do business with you. Take our numbers from off the screen. Talk to us via WhatsApp or regular call. We will hack into your call and we'll start doing business with you. All we need from you is not charity, but give us the financial muscle to be able to rewire the minds of our people, the continent of Africa. The problem of Africa is not only the problem of roads and schools and hospitals. The biggest is the mindset. Once we get the mindset right, there would never be a problem with schools, with roads, with hospitals, and such other things. That's why Nkrumah told us at independence, now that we have our independence, we need to change our attitude. My brother, my sister, it's a matter of semantics. Is it the attitude? Is it the mindset? Is it the thinking? It's all one. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, the very first thing I would like to look at today is very interesting. And what does it say? Watch it. Only domestication can save Ghana. Oh my God, have mercy. There was a man called Danladi. Very wonderful man. He was called Danladi. And the whole Ghana referred to him as domestication man. He wanted to be president of this country. And he was talking about domestication. He didn't speak very good English. And Ghanaians relegated him to the background, all because he couldn't speak very good English. They forgot that if it's about speaking English, then the village boy in England would have been the best president here in Ghana. My brother, my sister, we live in a country where people rate by how fluent you speak English. Now people will relegate you to the background if you don't speak good English. They forget that the brain is not all about the English language that people speak. We have idiots who speak Shakespearean English. We have people with no brains at all. They are walking jacks, headless jacks. Yet they speak very good English. My brother, my sister, Danladi was relegated to the background. Now he wanted to be president. He didn't get the chance. And all he was talking about was domestication. Whatever we do in this country must remain in this country. We should only send the excess out. We make sure that we plant what we eat and we eat what we plant. My brother, my sister, that was the simple message of Danladi. Several years after Danladi has left this country, dead and buried, not many people will remember him. But Pan-Africanists like us would always remember this great man, the president we never had, Danladi. Another person is here talking about Danladi's domestication. And who is this guy? Sam Jonah. He was the boss of Ashanti Goldfields. Later it became Anglo Gold Ashanti as it is right now. Recently he told us that government does not even have 0.000 to the umpteenth time 1% shares in Anglo Gold Ashanti. Sold everything out. He was the boss of Ashanti Goldfields. He's a self-made millionaire. He was knighted by the King of England. So they call him Sir, as it stands right now. Sir Sam Jonah. My brother, my sister, he wants to run for president. He has his eyes fixated on the presidency. Recently, he's been talking. I met him once, yes, and we spoke at length. This is the guy, and he's talking about domestication. He is re-invoking the spirit of Danladi. Watch this guy. He says what? Sam Jonah recommends domestication as solution to economic hardships. Come along, let's read this. Oh, how I wish we could have the photograph of Danladi so that the whole world would have a look at this great man called domestication in his days. Oh my God. Sir Samuel Eson Jonah has indicated the current economic hardship should transform the Ghanaian economy from an import-driven and dependent kind to one that sees the people eat what they grow. Wow. Speaking at the 60th anniversary of the University of Cape Coast, UCC, on Thursday, October 20, the business magnate said, our insatiable appetite and high demand for any and everything foreign is central to many of the challenges we are facing as a country, he observed. Personally, I feel that unless and until concrete measures and actions are implemented to have an integrated economy which has its core less dependence on foreign goods, I am afraid our economic challenges will be further exacerbated. Without a doubt, we should start with what we eat. I think it is unconscionable that most of the tilapia we consume comes from China. Our frozen chicken comes from the Netherlands and the US. And of course, we continue to rely on Burkina Faso for our onions and tomatoes. This is the biggest part of it. He says, now I am told China is exporting cassava, gari, and yams. The cost of food is a major part of any nation's economy, and it behoves, well, grammatical shake up there, so I'll correct it. It behoves all of us to do whatever we can to improve accessibility and affordability. The Chancellor of UCC, during his speech, noted that the university is supposed to lead in ensuring efficient implementation of the government's agriculture policies. Sam Jonah said, my charge to UCC is that we lead the national effort in ensuring that we use cutting-edge technologies and research to assist with the efficient implementation of government's agriculture. Dash it away. I'm still waiting for that photo of Dan Latte. But watch me. What this man is talking is nothing but what we have been talking about all these years as Pan-Africanists. What Sam Jonah is talking about, Nkrumah talked about it several years ago. No country can be truly independent if it does not domesticate almost everything. My brother, my sister, China is now exporting yams, onions, and gari. In fact, these are home to Ghana. When you talk about gari, it's all about Ghana. We give credit to the Volta region. In fact, when the Portuguese came all the way from Portugal and brought us agbeli, aka cassava, in fact, several hundreds of years ago, it was our people from the Volta region who grabbed up that idea and decided to turn it into gari. And gari is a hot product in Africa. Here in Nigeria, rich people eat gari. In Ghana, rich people have just learned how to eat gari because of the terrible economic conditions. In fact, gari is not so respected in Ghana amongst the rich. They see it as food for poor people. But in Nigeria, here is the opposite. Wherever it is, my brother, my sister, cassava and cassava products would never, ever be useless anywhere they are produced. Cassava is one product that is so useful. If China has seen wisdom in this, come all over to Ghana to pick up our gari, produce it in China, and export it right now, then we are in trouble. Remember, China also started producing our cocoa, Ghana brand of cocoa, and also exporting it. What next is China going to do? Is it an economic warfare? That China is in this country destroying our lands and water bodies, the things, the mainstay of our country. They've destroyed everything, the very fabric of our mainstay in this country. Now they are producing that in China. Let me not digress. My brother, my sister, domestication is the thing. Oh, Papa, Papa, oh, Papa, this is Dan Latte. When Dan Latte started speaking about domestication, Ghanaians relegated him to the background without checking out the content of what was in his head. They rather wanted him to parrot the English language like William Shakespeare. So they lost out on the brains of the man because his lips were not fluent. Today, domestication is slapping our cringing brows in Ghana. Eat what you grow, grow what you eat. If you are not ready to do that, then you are not truly independent. Russia, I'm told, is the only country in the world that can live independent of other countries in terms of food production. My brother, my sister, Russia is at war. And it's like the whole world is at war. Bread prices increasing. Hey, even water prices increasing. What kind of a country is Russia? It's a domesticated country. If you are not able to domesticate your economy, domesticate your country, then your country is in the jungle. Your country is a wild animal. Should I come home? Should I come? Come along, come. If you are not able to domesticate your economy or domesticate your country, then your country is wild and is in the jungle. When you bring a wild animal home and you want it to be civilized in quotes and live with human beings, what do? You domesticate it. Human beings started domesticating animals several hundreds of years ago. That is how come the dog is now at home. That is how come we now have the goat at home with us. They were all in the wild. Now when you domesticate a certain product, it becomes yours. If it is not domesticated, then it grows wild. It's in the wild. Whatever is in the wild does not belong to anybody. That was the sense behind Danlate's domestication. Nkrumah's idea of domestication. Do we all remember the Congo Valley, where Nkrumah wanted all our food to come from? The food of Africa. Enough to feed Africa and even export some to the rest of the world. But no, we killed the very fiber of our life, Kwame Nkrumah. The core of our life. Today, Sam Jonas says domesticate. How many countries in Africa are self-dependent? Which one country in Africa can live without importation for 5 years? Tell me. Is it Ghana? My brother, my sister. Walk out on the streets. Pick up 1,000 Ghanaians at a go. They are wearing imported things. From their shirt, all the way down to their trousers and shoes and panties. And everything. Including sanitary pads, toothpicks and toothbrush and toothpaste. What do we produce? The West has turned Africa into its backyard garden. Anytime it wants to pick tomatoes, it just stretches a hand and picks tomatoes from out of Africa. We have been turned into commercial producing farms for the West. The West has succeeded in making us produce commercial products for its factories, whilst we deny ourselves the production of the final product. Hallelujah. Danlate preached domestication. Today, domestication is staring us in the face, and we are also morosedly looking at it. To God be the glory. My brother, my sister, Sam Jonah, you haven't said anything new. I thank you for bringing it back. But this is something that has been slapping our cringing brows. Like the holy water that the white man brought to us in those days. Until we look at that, we are still slaves. There's no independence when there's no economic independence. There's no independence when there is no food independence. How do you live in Africa and your food is coming from the kitchen of the white man? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Do you know what that means? Anytime the kitchen is shut, you are hungry, you become a ghost. You die like a goat. Think about it. My brother, my sister, we are at the edge. When we tip a little bit, when the scales tip a bit, we will be tossed into a deep abyss. We will never be recovered. This is the black pot. Dash it away. Next thing I want to look at is this. Watch it. Sack incompetent OFORÍ-ATTA. Majority caucus in parliament. Hallelujah. Oh my God. Who is OFORÍ-ATTA? Who is he? Who is OFORÍ-ATTA? He's the finance minister of the Republic of Ghana. That is the man in charge of the economy. They said his first tenure of office, he did well. And after some time, he lost the whole thing. My brother, my sister, he's suffering from kidney problems and all that. He said it. His face all of a sudden became puffy. Instead of sympathizing with him and asking him to go and sit home and take care of his health, no, greed will not let them go. He continues staying there in ill health. A sick man will produce a sick economy. How many people agree? Anybody can fall sick. I can fall sick too. I've said it time and again. But don't be greedy enough, pretending to love the nation, that when you are sick, you still claim that you want to run the race for the nation, when there are healthier people who can do that. My brother, my sister, this is a greedy man. Very greedy man. You see him, innocent face like that. We were told, my brother, my sister, that all the loans coming into this country will pass through his data bank. They said, oh, he resigned years back. My brother, he founded the bank, put people in charge. Then by some bureaucratic shenanigans, he decided to resign. My brother, this is Africa. The baby is still your baby. All the loans coming in would pass through his data bank. And we were told that he made a lot of money by contracting loans. So he became a loans minister. Loans minister. His specialty is getting loans and saddling this nation into huge debt. This is that idiot, this guy, who wanted to give us a japa. Do you all remember a japa? Do you know what that means? A japa was to sell all our minerals in this country. Deny all the generations yet to come these minerals to take some bulk money for a few incompetent, greedy, pot-bellied nincompoops to sit and party with. We fought against Ejepa. He was still pushing it. Today, my brother, my sister, we knew he was incompetent from when they started this nonsense. Today, the majority caucus in parliament belonging to his party. This is the president's cousin. You see some of these politicians who are so sick, they do not want to leave power. Who is going to pay for their hospital bills? Some of them, they go to some of the big hospitals in the world. Huge hospitals. Hospitals that Queen Elizabeth and the rest go to. These are the hospitals they go to. And my brother, my sister, the taxpayer pays for this. So when they leave power, they will die. Watch them and see how they are going to die after losing power. One after the other. Because what used to keep them alive would have been cut like the umbilical cord. This is the man, Ken OFORÍ-ATTA, and the majority caucus in parliament from their own political party who heralded his coming and said he was a man with brains, economically balanced. In fact, he was an economic bourgeoisie. NPP MPs demand removal of Ken OFORÍ-ATTA. Edu Boahin is supposed to be his assistant, and together they were at data bank. The people he brought to data bank, my brother, he brought them into the presidency as well after they resigned, in quotes. Such crooks. What does the story say? A group of New Patriotic Party NPP members of parliament have petitioned President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo to sack the Minister of Finance, Ken OFORÍ-ATTA, and the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Edu Boahin, to restore public confidence in the economy. Oh my God. This was announced in a media briefing by their spokesperson, Andy Kwame Appiah-Kubi, member of parliament for Ashanti-Akim North, in parliament on Tuesday. That's yesterday, right? October 25, 2022. The group said it will not do business with government nor support the 2023 budget if the president fails to heed their calls. According to them, the move follows previous consents sent to the government that have not yielded any positive results. We have had occasions to defend allegations of conflicts of interest, lack of confidence, and trust against the leadership of the finance ministry. Hold it there. Come along, come. Look at the last paragraph. What is it saying? We have had occasions to defend allegations of conflicts of interest. That was what I was talking about. Data bank. Loans come in. A few people fatten up on interest coming from the loans and commissions and all that. OFORİ-ATTA's data bank. And the thing is that, oh, we resigned before we judge, but it's still your baby. Look at the last paragraph. These are NPP. New Patriotic Party MPs. We have had occasions to defend allegations of conflicts of interest, lack of confidence, and trust against the leadership of the finance ministry. Flip it. The recent development within the economy is of major concern to our caucus and our constituents. We have made our grave concern to our president through the parliamentary leadership and the leadership of the party without any positive response. I think that's what they wanted to put there. And the appeal could be said. The MPs believe the move will change the current economic situation in the country. We are, by this medium, communicating our strong desire that the president changes the Minister of Finance and the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry without further delay in order to restore hope into the finance sector and reverse the downward trend in the growth of the economy, he added. So far, about 80 MPs have reportedly signed the petition for the sack of the finance minister. There are 137. If 80 have agreed, it's far more than half. My brother, conflict of interest, hopelessness in the finance sector. And this guy Ken is still sitting there trying to push a japa. What kind of an arrogant guy is this? Now, when you read the thing, it says they have tried through their leadership to speak to the president, but the president has turned a deaf ear to their demands. And these are your own MPs. We have an arrogant, ego-bloated president who has lost his senses and faculties and is only basking in the glory of hopelessness and arrogance. In fact, the president is like an unbridled horse who is out on the street carrying all of us in a chariot heading towards Hades. Somebody won't understand what that means. What does it mean to say Hades? Hades. What is the meaning? If you don't get it, then forget it. He is sitting on an unbridled horse. And this horse is taking us towards Hades. In fact, towards Armageddon. That's what is happening. Meanwhile, Britain's Kwesi Kwarteng was sacked on October 14, 2022 as the Chancellor of the Exchequer. That's the Minister of Finance. These guys and their Chancellor and Exchequer and all. I don't know what those ancient, is it juju or what? Why don't you just say Minister of Finance? Chancellor of the Exchequer of the curriculum of what is that? Over some financial policy decisions that stirred trouble in the UK market. And when he was sacked, it was the same Ken who said, oh, have my sympathy. I am so shocked because you were such a fine gentleman. He had gone to that man for advice. The man he went to for advice had been sacked. It's like the president falling on a man with no brains to advise him. And that's Osafo Maf. We have said it time and again. My brother, so the country is like an unbridled horse. You know what it means to say unbridled? You know, every horse, if you want to have a cruise with this horse, it must have some reins. You know, reins like, you know, ropes that you tie around, put one in the mouth and hold it. If you want it to go right, you turn it like this. To go left, you go. If you don't have that, it becomes an unbridled horse. It goes in any direction because horse does not listen to the language of hey fa, hey pass here. No. Dum, dum, dum, dum, dum. Wow! Dum, dum, dum, dum. Wow! Dum, dum, dum. Hey fa, on tea or call. That is where the economy is right now. But look at the MPs who have signed. They want this man out. Look at their names. Haruna Idrisu on top. Look at those who have signed. Some of their signatures, in fact, it's like chicken who are on the, beach removing things and, interesting. Look at them. Page 2. Look at this. 3rd page. Look at it, my brother. Do you get it? If you don't get it, forget it. They all want the minister out. But brother, come along. And dash it away. Come along. Hear me. If you sack the finance minister without sacking the president, you would have achieved only 20%. The finance minister is a problem, yes. It's the president who put him there. Your dirty president still believes that the finance minister is the best. It means he has lost it. Why do you keep a crazy man there who believes that his failure is a success? That's what the president believes in. What an arrogant president. I started saying I didn't like this president long ago. We saw the signs, the danger signs, red alert. Dirty president. The mind is so dirty. It's so clouded in a maze. My brother, a dirty president. Ego bloated president. Arrogant president. Today, my brother, my sister, is so glaring. I pray that people do not do what we don't want them to do. Because where this country is heading to, no, sir. I said it's an unbridled horse. Come on, what the chain? Or shall I know a cow? Now. Okay? For the next person to now. Fear! Tongues cannot save this country where it is. Reverend Owusu Bempa can't save this country where it is. Prophet Dr. Oduro Tie cannot save this country. Not even Duncan Williams. Hey, not my very good friend Pastor Otabil. Domestication. Common sense. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. When we return, we have more for you. Hey! Wayo!
My name is Waris, but all of you know me as Comedian Waris. I come from a home where cleanliness is not only next to godliness, but a must. We seldom fell ill, and we saved our doctor this headache. At an early age, my mother introduced us to our best gift ever, PJ's Acid Cleaner. PJ's Acid Cleaner kills 99% of all germs and keeps your WCs, marbles, tiles, and concrete floors sparkling new and clean. In fact, you don't need any extra muscle when it comes to PJ's acid cleaner. It has all the muscle. When my fiancée, Mamiya, first visited me, I almost lost her. She didn't believe I was single, lived alone, and without a house help. Yet my house had this great fragrance and was always clean. I had to reveal my secret, PJ's acid cleaner, my family's greatest gift.
For bulk purchases, please call 0244 624 526 or 0262 233 243.
Luxury home, it's a beauty place for every woman. We do braids, wave caps, weave-ons, nails, pedicure, manicure, waxing, massages. We do everything concerning beauty. So if any lady is thinking about beauty, I believe this is the right place for you to be. We do nail training here, we do braids training, we do wave caps installation, we do waxing. I mean, anything that we do, the services that we render here, we also train people. So if you want to be a master in nails, if you want to be a professional nail technician, this is the right place for you to be. We will train you and make sure you are a professional, not just any nail tech. At Chick Luxury Beauty Home, we train you to be your own boss. We have international trainers who train you to fit in anywhere in the world. We have our one-man training, and we also have 2 weeks. It's between 2 weeks to 1 month, depending on the individual. Whatever you want, we give it to you. At Chick Luxury Beauty Home, we give you quality yet affordable. So come and get trained and be your own boss.
Yabe my sister Paulina and a day after.
You can't seminar. You better free. Abus chapter.
Hey, babe! Sister Paulina, we're reading glasses here, China, Hebrews.
Hey, madam!
Tina Tet Hayan Herbal Capsule, a drawing Tina Brewati Semi. Me ready, I mention glasses. Obroni Bessie, see clear.
Hey, no crow. Tina Tet Hayan Herbal Capsules, a full supplement for good vision and not recommended for children below 12 years, asthmatic patients, pregnant and breastfeeding mothers.
A drawing baby atwa, for Tina Tet Herbal Shop. Hey, now what? Tina Tet Hayan, see clear.
Blackpot, Coco Show.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shonomo, where we speak truth to power. Did you see that quote? Bob Herbert, powerful black man. There are a few things more dangerous than a mixture of power, arrogance, and incompetence. That is what the government is exhibiting. This is the Blakk Pot, aka CAUCUS, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Next thing, watch it. Coach BUKHARD ZIESZE slapped my future away. Coach BUKHARD ZIESZE slapped my future. Who is BUKHARD ZIESZE? How many of us remember BUKHARD ZIESZE? The children of these days would not know him. He was a coach for the Black Stars. And this guy, he would wear his tie and suit, and Ghanaians loved to see him in suit. Because in those days, coaches, most of the time, were in track suits. But this guy behaved like the manager of a team rather than the coach. No wonder later in life, coach became manager. How many people understand? In my days, a coach was a coach. But today, coaches are managers, right? The other day when I heard, oh, the manager of Aston Villa, I was expecting to, see paper and books, and I saw this guy with pot belly jumping, say, my manager. Hey, this was the manager of the Black Stars. In fact, the coach. He did very well. BUKHARD ZIESZE was a great guy. Ghanaians loved him. He achieved a lot with the Black Stars. I don't know where he is now. It's not very important right now. Next time, I can go through his whole history from when he was born all the way to where he is now. What he's even eating right now, I will tell you that. We are the masters of Pan-Africanism. History is at our fingertips. Hey! BUKHARD ZIESZE taught a Ghanaian player, in fact, a player of Asante Kotoko, a lesson in patriotism. And this story has touched me. Tie! Watch the story. How Black Stars coach BUKHARD ZIESZE slapped a Ghanaian coach at Black Stars camp. Listen. How Black Stars coach BUKHARD ZIESZE slapped a Ghanaian coach at Black Stars camp. And I read, former Black Stars midfielder Nto Jan has narrated how the late Black Stars coach BUKHARD ZIESZE slapped Ghanaian coach Jim Amwa for condoning indiscipline. Come along. In an interview with Dan Kweku Yaboa, Nto Jan said he was the cause of the slap because the coaches tried bending the rules to let him into the Black Star squad after departing camp without permission. According to the former Asante Kotoko midfielder, an agent, listen to this, an agent contacted him about a move to Cameroon whilst he was at the Black Stars camp in Winneba. He had to meet the agent in Sunyani, but BUKHARD refused him permission despite coining up multiple excuses. He narrated that he told BUKHARD ZIESZE he had to braid his hair before he could play, adding that only his wife was supposed to do that for him. According to Jan, BUKHARD got angry and insisted on not letting him go because the manager had built his team around him. He said the manager gave him two options. That is, either stay or go and never return. But his desire to seal the move abroad got the better of him, and he chose the latter by joining the Kotoko bus. Dash it away. Dash it away. My brother, my sister, BUKHARD ZIESZE was a coach of the Black Stars. The Black Stars was camping in Winneba. And A player agent had come all the way from Cameroon and was in Sunyani and wanted Ntojan to come over so they would sign a deal for him to go and play in Cameroon for a team in Cameroon. He was in camp. He tried to go. The coach said no. He lied to the coach that, he needed to braid his hair so that he would be able to play well. And to braid his hair, only his wife was permitted to do that. Because he knew that the coach, being a good coach, gave them the opportunity to believe in whatever they wanted to believe in, as long as it did not affect the game. And he believed that by going to tell him this juju story, the coach will say, even though the coach will not believe it, he will just say, you can go and do that, if that will put him in the right frame of mind to play. But the coach suspected something and said, don't go. And if you leave, don't return here. He still went ahead, joined the Asante Kotoko bus from Winneba all the way to Sunyani. And when you read the story further, he got there and they asked him for an ITC, International Transfer Certificate. He had to get this from the GFA that he was running away from. He couldn't get it. The contract became useless. He ran back to camp, sneaked into the camp with the two coaches giving him the chance. Two assistant coaches. Jimamwa was the one who gave him the chance to come in. He sneaked in and was there. BUKHARD was not on camp because he had his own car. And therefore, he didn't drive with the rest of the team on the bus. They got to a place where they were supposed to have their meals. And BUKHARD joined them. When he came and saw this guy there, he said, what is this boy doing here? And he turned and realized that it was Jimamwa who allowed him in. He slapped Jimamwa, his assistant coach, Ghanaian coach, bam! And asked him to leave camp. From that time, he never saw the light of football till he retired. He couldn't go to Cameroon. He couldn't stay in Ghana to play. He was never able to play with the Black Stars. Imagine the whole Black Stars team. The strategy was built around you, Ntojan. The German coach, BUKHARD ZIESZE, was he German? Had told him that, hey, please be careful. The team has been built. The strategy has been built around you. Don't go anywhere. But greed, no patriotism. He left. My brother, the story of Ntojan is the story of so many other Ghanaians, especially politicians. They are not patriotic. They don't put the nation first. They greedily, selfishly are looking for what they can eat now and forget the rest of us. They go and crash and destroy themselves and end up destroying the nation as well. To Ntojan, you have learnt a lesson, but it looks like it's a little too late. But those upcoming can pick up some of the lessons. I've seen some players, former players of Black Stars say, don't kill yourself for the Black Stars. They will never ever reward you. Are you playing for the Black Stars because you want somebody to reward you? Or you are playing for your nation, for posterity to reward you in one way or the other? When white people are dying for their nations, they are not particularly looking at what they will benefit from other people. They are looking at how posterity will judge them. But for us, I had Joka, a man that I had met and interviewed some years back, say that, Rawlings was the one who killed the Black Stars' ambition to win laurels. Because in 1982, when they won in Libya, he was supposed to give them something he promised and he didn't do it. Why would one man destroy a whole nation's football team? It means you guys are all idiots whose mind and eyes are just fixated on what you will benefit and not where you can take the country to. That's what it is. When we return, We have a lot more for you. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Cuckoo Show No More, where we speak truth to power.
Diana Wright, first of all, is a Jamaican. Yes, I'm a Jamaican. I was born in a little parish, a beautiful little parish called Clarendon, outside of Kingston. Everybody knows Kingston, but Clarendon is where I come from. I am a singer, I am an author, I am a songwriter, I am a poetess, and I am an actress. Right, I do the whole. I've been doing it for many years, and so basically that's who I am. I'm anything art, everything art. That's me. You think art and you think Diana. Yeah. I do reggae music, I do inspirational music, I do cultural music, I do gospel, if you call it gospel. You know, I just do uplifting, clean music. Even the 12-year-old can listen to it. You know, or the adult, if you feel like it needs some motivation or so. The kind of music I do will really, you know, motivate you, and that's basically what I do, reggae predominantly. Okay, so the inspiration behind Bed of Roses is this. I actually, you know, bad to bad, as we say in Jamaica, there's that little stigma that has always been going on that, you know, most men are not good men, and you don't really have good men, especially like if they're poor and they can't take care of you. Women have 2 hands and 2 feet too, so you're crippled, you know. You don't necessarily need somebody to take care of you. What you need is a man with a good heart who loves you and who will work with you so you can build an empire. So Bed of Roses is really in the defense of men, and so also to really rewrite the narrative that if a man is poor and can't take care of, and that is not good. It's not good for you, which is a lie. You understand? So there are lots of men out there who don't have a lot of money, but they are good and upright men. You know, they just want someone to work with them and someone to motivate them. And so that song was really, you know, to celebrate good men who don't necessarily have a lot of money.
Nice little ranch down the Ochi. Only for veggie where we plant, me not go hungry. Come and say, Luchi and movie in our pantry. Give me a firm foundation when a Sunday.
Bed of Roses is available to the public on our platform called 16 Bars Multimedia. So on the website it will be the 16BARS M-as-in-Mary.com. So that is 16barsmm.com. Definitely. I am available for live performances any day of the week. So you can contact me on, first of all, you can reach out to me on my Instagram as Empress Diana, and my Diana has 2 N's, so that's Empress, which is DIANNA, so that's Empress Diana, that's my IG. And also you can send me a link or something on our YouTube. Our YouTube is the same name of our website, 16 Bars Multimedia. We have lots of work there. You can reach us there, and also you can reach us at 16barsmm@outlook.com. So that is 16. This time it's the word all spelled out. 16barsmm@outlook.com. And if you choose, when you go on our website, which is the same 16barsmm.com, you can go to the contact page and send us a message. You understand? And usually we respond within a couple of hours. All right. So that's basically it. And I'm sure at the end of this, you will have a number somewhere to contact us. All right. So that's it. That's what I do. And keep the music locked. Yes, I bless.
Nice little ranch down a OFORÍ. Only for veggie where we plant, me not go hungry. Come and say, the GMO in our pantry. Give me a firm foundation.
Sorry. Oh, Doc. Yes, and you walk, Doc. I want to know why you did. We must why she. I've said, do I need to tell you, ma? No, see the young young cook. So, your stomach was up, said the young. Had been so as I become. And then crying, meaning said, if you be forcing, I don't know.
Test results naturally say when you malaria when you moji.
Yeah, 3D.
Yes, malaria. Nani yem no so we no here. Tinatet tomac, and a tinatet malake. Famano nano ho betono.
Malake, anything at Tumac. I'm on my free.
Tinatet malake, eyama obi a wanya malaria fever. Ena tinatet tomac mixture, eyama obi a wanya indigestion. Yenhwehwemu hu so wanya malaria and sign na wafa edroi. Not recommended for children below 12 years. Pregnant or lactating mothers should consult a doctor.
Blackpot, CAUCUS.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka CAUCUS, where we speak truth to power. Make sure you take our numbers from off the screen, and of course, give us a simple WhatsApp message or a WhatsApp call, and tell us what business you are into. Let's do business. Let's make your business flourish. And then by so doing, when the African businesses flourish, we also flourish. We will continue rewiring the minds of our people. That is what we stand for. Patriotism and not politics. This is the pot. Not just any pot, but the pot that is black. Next thing I would like to look at is this. Watch it. And it says what? Another redenomination discourse hates Ghana. My brother, my sister, President Kufuor redenominated our currency. And it became one cedi more valuable than $1 American. But to be able to do that, you need to be at your fiscal wits. You need to be able to deal with production and productivity. You need to be able to have a full grounding of the economy. Is this the best time for this? Well, there's an economist talking about it. Who is this economist? Watch him. That's him. Come along. Let's talk. Come. What's the story saying? Check it out. It says what? And this is from My Joy Online. It says, redenominate cedi. It will trigger low dollar demand. Finance aspect. Watch it. A US-based associate professor of finance, Professor William Pepra, is calling for redenomination of the Ghana cedi. According to him, this will cause financial psychology, economic and behavioral change on the part of currency dealers in rushing to buy the dollar as a store of value. Speaking to Joy Business, Professor Pepra said the move would also lower prices and values of monetary commodities in the country, since the cost of redenomination will be lower than the cost of inflation. The current situation in Ghana, where we have seen the cedi devaluing and high inflation, currently requires that the economic managers would have to consider again the cedi currency redenomination. In fact, I propose that we take a zero off or divide the currency by 10. The value, as you know, will be the same. Well, I remember Kufuor's time. Ex-President Kufuor, the value is the same. The value is the same. The value is the same. I was one of the people who said, how can the value be the same when zeros are taken off and zeros are brought in and all that? We all made fun of it in one way or the other. It helped the country one way or the other. Is this the right time to do that? It is 15 years after the last cedi redenomination. A similar situation was faced in 2006, and by July 1, 2007, the cedi was redenominated. He mentioned, my brother, my sister, Will this work? In this economy where the very foundation is dead? Would it work? Would it work? Would this incompetent government stay in place? My brother, you can redenominate and redenominate and redenominate to the umpteenth time as long as the fundamentals are weak. The currency will still be weak as the exchange rate will expose you. Where's Baumia? Oh, Dr. Baumia, we have the man. Where is the guttural laugh? Oh, Alan Tremanting. Oh, Osafumafo. Oh, Oseyakoto. Oh, we have. And you want to be president. I've told you already. If you win the next election, I will leave this country for you. It means the country is not even serious. This abysmal performance. Young man, look how much you have destroyed your political future by following these twerps. When you came, you were the reason a lot of people voted for this party. Because you find gentlemen speaking all the economics, not knowing you were also a joker. In fact, I hammer a nail in your political coffin. Bang! And I sing a dirge, Sanchi, for you. Dash it away. Next thing, and I'm done. This is the last thing I'm looking at, and I'll be off. UAE bans Ghana amidst economic woes. Now Ghanaians cannot go to the United Arab Emirates, Dubai. What's the reason? It's sad. Economic woes. Who wants to have a poor man in his country? They wanted to come and do business. Even the year of return, they were looking for rich men. Such a dirty, disgraceful country. Your brothers and sisters were taken into slavery. And now we want them to come home. We are looking for the rich ones amongst them to come. Such a foolish nation. In fact, the nation is not foolish. The handlers of the nation are foolish. Watch, UAE bans nationals of Ghana. 19 others from visiting Dubai. Right now, everybody's going to Dubai. I see people advertise, hey, let's take you to Dubai to go and see Burj Khalifa and see who, and see camels and... Jesus have mercy. Why don't you go and see Osu Castle? Why don't you go to Gambaga and look at the Gambaga's cap? Do you know that? Or you just want to sit in an aeroplane and waste your time flying to go and look at desert and come? I'm glad for you. But it's serious. What is the story? The United Arab Emirates, UAE, has announced a visa ban on nationals from 20 African countries seeking to visit Dubai, according to Deutsche Welle Africa. The ban takes immediate effect. Affected countries are Ghana, number 1, Sierra Leone, Sudan, Cameroon, Nigeria. If Nigeria had not been added, I would have said this story is fake. Nigeria has such a bad name. The enemies of Nigeria. In fact, I wonder why this country has so much hatred. With all the music Nigeria is making and all the positivity, it looks like people have made up their minds about Nigeria already. What a shame. Such a great nation. If I were Nigeria, I would domesticate my product. Every country coming to Nigeria, except those in Africa, will have to get a visa. And that visa, you will queue for 1 month before you get it. Then you will respect us. Why? We have everything in Nigeria. Oil. But the corrupt leadership is what is making people look down on us. Any list of bad people, if Nigeria is not included, then it's a fake list. Anyway, Nigeria, Liberia, Burundi, Republic of Guinea, Gambia, Togo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Senegal, Benin, Ivory Coast, Congo, Rwanda, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Comoros, and Uganda. According to the Germany-based news outlet, one of the reasons given for the ban is that many who arrive on visas end up overstaying in the country illegally whilst working without legalizing their stay. Dash it away. This is a racist country. It's a dirty country. Very dirty country. You are just a desert. By tourism, all of us have helped to build your country. Now you are banning us. Dirty country. Dirty country. Why is England not banning African countries from coming? Why is America not doing that? But you are so racist. Racist. Meanwhile, this is a country, come along, this is a country that will say, oh, we are an Islamic country and blah, blah, blah, blah. Yet the things you do not represent Islam. You can sit down and ban countries, 20 African countries. Are you mad? 20 African countries. No European country. The bombs that are being thrown all over the world, have you seen any African country manufacturing and throwing bombs? Why don't you ban America from coming there? You are only interested in the money. If Americans come there and overstay even 100 years, you like it. Because they will spend money in your country. If British people do same, oh, no problem. But poor Africans, who you have used, abused, and refused, you ban them. Any fool can get up and ban Africa. What is this? If I were the president of this country, I'd ban their embassy here, if they have one. Go home when you are ready to have us there. Diplomacy has failed. Why? What have we done wrong? What have we done wrong? So let your immigration work at it. Instead of drawing a blanket statement that you are banning everybody from these 20 African countries from coming. But African countries also learn. You see how we are being treated? South Africa is not in the list. They are begging South Africans to come there. They won't come. They are self-sufficient in their country. They won't come. I leave it here. My name is Blakk Rasta. I appreciate you. I love you. On this sad note of visa ban, I'm gone. Hey! Wayo!